Good morning, everyone. Tony here. I'm joined by Ms. Victoria. She's almost here. Victoria, she's our marketing manager, and we are here at Authorized Vac and Sew. And today we have a very special treat for you today. Today we are are gathered or joined by none other than who?
Miss Karen King. Hi,
Miss Karen King. Welcome, Miss Karen. And you are from where, Miss Karen?
I am currently from Meridian, Idaho. We just moved there.
Oh,
Nice, nice. Did you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Karen?
Sure. So I started sewing many, many years ago, actually in junior high and high school, sewing and having home ec classes. When I had children, I wanted to stay home and raise them, but I wanted to earn an income. So I started sewing for weddings and wedding dresses. And when I found I earned not very much, I went looking for another business venture, and wondered about longarm quilting. It was 15 years ago, so the industry wasn't quite as big and booming as it is now, but I was able to make a good income quilting for others at home. And I was learning the machines and the computers. One day was at Academy with Handiquilter in Layton, Utah. And at the time they were looking for educators. And so I thought that might be another business adventure. And it has been so much fun teaching others how to use their long arm machines, get the most out of them, and learn how to, if they want to, start a business.
Wow, absolutely. Great stories. I mean, that's something that we offer here. Oh, it looks like we kind of lost Miss Karen. That's something that here at Authorized Vac and Sew, we definitely strive on. For those of you that have, been a long customer of ours, you can see and you can tell by the stories that our customers, tell by what Authorized Vac and Sew stands for. And that's, we make sure that we take that initiative and we take that interest into what our customers, want to do, whether it's a hobby or whether it's a business. Sorry, Miss Karen, we lost you for a little bit, but I was just kind of, touching up on how, you go hand in hand with Authorized Vac and Sew, because that's our motto here. We definitely love to taking interest and we love to help people, whether that's, they want to do it as a hobby or they want to do it as a side business. So absolutely, it's a pleasure to have you. You're a Handiquilter educator. How long have you been with Handiquilter?
Just a couple of years. Not too long, since 2022.
Nice. Okay. So we have just a couple of questions for you. And then, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to pass it over to Victoria so we can get started.
Yeah. So one of the first questions that I wanted to ask you was, and you mentioned it a little bit, was of how you got your interest in quilting and how it came to be that you got involved with Handiquilter. I know you said that you were in Layton, Idaho. Was it at Handiquilter Academy?
Correct. Yeah, Layton, Utah, at a Handiquilter Academy. And I was in a class learning a lot. That is a great place to go to learn. And it was so fascinating and interesting. And I knew Pro Stitcher pretty well, the computerized program that goes with the Handiquilter machine. But I learned so much. And Judy Hayes, she was my first educator, and she was kind and nice, and it was just a great feeling and great place to be, that I really wanted to be a part of it, and that's how I started there.
Awesome. And it's amazing to see you now a part of Handiquilter, to really share your passions, because I can tell that you're really passionate about what you do. And I took a little look at your Instagram. It's at longarm quilt, and you've got so many amazing applications, and like your creativity is off the walls. So yeah, I cheer you on in your journey. That's really cool. And I'm really glad that you're going to be visiting us. But with that, I think you know really a lot about some of the common mistakes beginners can make because you were a beginner yourself. So what are some common mistakes that you've seen, and what can you say now to help people avoid them, or beginners, I should say?
That is a really great place to start. When I started 14 years ago, I did not have what Handiquilter offers today, which is education in person.
Absolutely.
I recommend in-person classes to begin with because you learn about tension and how to load that quilt properly and all of the little intricacies that can cause bad tension or shredded threads or skip stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled for 5 years trying to get over that because I didn't have this, which is education. And you're
Right.
offering this to your customers is a great, really great benefit to them. So that's my number one, is going to an
Education.
event. Yes. Education. There are a lot of YouTube videos, and that's a great place as well. But to go to an
Mm-hmm.
in-person event where an educator can be there physically and hear your questions, and you've had struggles with this, and how can I help you solve it? I have had every tension, needle, thread, shredding possible. So I have
Right.
overcome it and have struggled with many different areas there, and can help others overcome that as well.
Right. So I guess you could say your first mistake can be not educating yourself or seeking that education. Because really, I think I see the value of what you're saying and going and experiencing something firsthand rather than attending YouTube University, which is amazing and it definitely has its time and place. But
Mhm.
there's nothing like experiencing that firsthand and getting that from a knowledgeable individual such as yourself. So really
Absolutely.
cool. Really, really cool. Um,
Plus we get to, we get to bring you on over here to Authorized Vacuum. So we have a 15,000 square feet event center, huge. Perfectly accommodates all the long arms that Handiquilter, has to offer. So yeah, absolutely, definitely great. That's a great point that you bring up, the education, the in-person event, the in-person experience, because sometimes people are on-hands learners and they
mhm.
want to visually see and, feel in touch what it is that they're having mistakes with. So I definitely can agree with that.
That
So
event sounds fun and exciting.
Yes, that too.
it definitely does. It has a certain vibe to it, a nice
Absolutely.
sense of luxury. But I think with my next question, I really want to know what are some of your go-to tools and accessories that you think every quilter should have? Um, what is that?
Well, for me, it's a spare bobbin case because dropping it on a hard floor can dent that and cause you downtime
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
on your machine. Also, a pair of tweezers and a
Hmm.
blow out the lint and dust and oil. Um, Also, batting scissors. Handiquilter makes an amazing pair of ergonomic scissors that cut through. I can fold my batting up 8 layers and trim that very straight and even. I have so many tips for new quilters on how to get a very good result the first time that you're at your long arm. And the right feet for the machine. The Handiquilter has a glide foot, which is shaped like a cup, and it literally glides over large seams, like 8 point center in the center of an 8 point star quilt
Hmm.
block. It will glide right over that if it's not completely flat. We try to make them completely flat, but sometimes that doesn't always happen. And that glide foot will be a lifesaver for many in
Hmm.
quilting journey. So
Definitely. And I think that's another added plus to attending these in-person events is that you also get really good exposure to some of the latest and greatest tools and accessories available to you, then making your experience that much better and easier. So it's really important to stay up to date and of course come to our events so you have more tools at your disposal for your ease.
exactly, I agree.
And by the way, everything that you just said, the handy batting scissors, the glide foot, all of that, we carry in our store, not only in our store, but we also offer them on our website. So we also give customers the, shopping experience, whether it's in store or, online. So all of that, all those great tools and tips that you said are amazing, which brings me to my question is, I'm the type of person that I like to get inspired.
Mhm.
I think anybody that's, ready to take that next step is looking for some sort of inspiration. So my question to you is, what inspired you to start quilting and how did you become, so involved with Handiquilter?
Well, I've always loved to create. I've loved to sew. I have also done hand embroidery. I've wanted to do gold work at the Royal Needle Arts in England. Haven't got there yet. Haven't done that yet. I want to add that to my quilting. But what has made me happy in the quilting world versus the sewing.
Hmm.
I still love to sew, but the non-fitting issues in quilting and the versatility of it, the being able to create on the long arm machine, be able to sew
Hmm.
entire quilt on the long arm from scratch. So strip piecing or with Minky, there's just so much in the quilting world that I was not aware of when I started. I had no idea all that can be done on the long arm, and it's I'm still learning. I'm still learning new things or new ideas, thinking, okay, this is a great item. How can I make that on
Hmm.
long arm? Because everything's so easy. You don't have to push the fabric. It's just there, and you just roll the machine around it and it stitches it down. And I can't remember the second part of your question. I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
was saying, how did you become involved with Handiquilt? When and how did Handiquilture come into the picture?
Okay. When I was searching for a long arm machine back in
Hmm.
the day, they actually had Machine Quilting Expo in Salt Lake. These long arm machine companies would come to Salt Lake, set up, and you could go around and test drive every long arm that was on the market. And I did that for 2 years. I really wanted to get the right one. I know what an investment it is. And
Right.
I wanted to get the smoothest machine that was out there. Every time I went, I always went home thinking, well, it's Handiquilter. But the next year I went back, closed my eyes as I went around the room, test driving to make sure Handiquilter was still the smoothest machine. And it was. But I had no idea how wonderful the computer system was with it. I really had no clue. I thought there are too many buttons. I'm never going to learn this. My kids are shocked I can learn it because I don't like a smartphone. So it has been so simple and easy to learn and so versatile. I landed with Handiquilter every time. It was hands down for me the best machine and computer that was out there. And then I went to Academy, and then I applied for Handiquilter. So I had my machine long before I applied to be an educator for Handiquilter.
Right.
Loved it. So
That's
Awesome.
awesome. What a
That's
true
yeah,
testament to, I
that's
mean,
great.
first, quality control. I mean, you tested it and tested it again and tested it some more, and you still loved the outcome of it using a handy quilter machine. And the journey that you had, wow, that's truly amazing.
Yeah, I mean that says definitely a lot about Handiquilture and the type of products that they push out. Quality, high quality products. So absolutely, absolutely. Um, my next question is, um, you talked about the education portion. You talked about that the in-person event and basically everything that you've learned ever since. Along your journey, I'm sure that you had a lot of trials by errors. So what tips or tricks can you share with that quilter that's ready to take their quilting to the next level?
that is a very good question because that question came up in the last class that I taught. And
Hmm.
don't underestimate the value of practice. I remember when I first started, and I remember the thoughts I had. I can't do it. I will never be able to do this. I remember feeling that way. And I would do a little bit of doodling on the machine, but I thought this isn't looking very good. I'm never going to be good. And I became discouraged. And I decided one day, and I'm not sure what motivated me because way back when I didn't have the education that they have now. But I just decided that this quilt needed this design and I needed to practice it. So I did first on paper and then on scrap of fabric at my machine. And then at my machine, I pulled out the thread and stitched it because I thought I don't want to pick it out if it's not going to look. So
Right.
first I stitched it so I could see the needle holes. Then I put the thread back in and stitched it. And I thought, oh, that really does work. If you practice, it really does work, and it really does come. It's difficult to understand that, but it's true. Whether you're drawing on paper to practice or at the both of them create that neural pathway in your brain, and it will help you develop smooth and nice skills for this is for free motion quilting. Of course, for computer, it's a whole lot easier, but it does come.
Great, great advice, great tips. I mean, practice does make perfect, and that's pretty much anywhere or anything that you do. You have to, practice in order to achieve, the results that you want. So thank you for those, for those tips. Do we have anything else for her, Victoria?
Actually, yeah. Before we say goodbye to Miss Karen, I think one final question to be is, what can we expect at our upcoming hands-on with Handiquilter event? Any specialized techniques that you'll be sharing?
Yes, for years I kept these secrets close to me because I was in a competitive industry, up in
Of
Washington.
course.
It was very competitive as a long arm quilter. And so I kept all these secrets close to my heart. And now I'm blurting them all out in class. So I share every tip I have ever had to make free motion
Look at
design.
that.
We're going to be
Beautiful.
That's so pretty.
some of these. And we will be learning
Wow.
of this as well. These are free motion designs. Here's one last one, not sure.
Ooh. It's
And then
computerized.
I will, yes, and we will be doing computerized as well. And then I'm also
Wow.
going to be teaching how to use rulers, because some quilts do have a place for rulers. So and sorry, it's a little wrinkled. It's been in my suitcase as I travel around.
It's
And
amazing.
also, I will teach how to use the different feet.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
This is yarn, metallic yarn, and it is applied with the long arm using a couching foot. And I will teach how to do that, how to use the foot, and also how to use Pro Stitcher. This will be one of the samples. We aren't actually doing this on the machine, but this is a sample of what Pro Stitcher can do. And this as well. You can custom.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Using Pro Stitcher. It is so simple and easy and quick and accurate. And then we will also have workshops. The last day, we will be learning more free motion designs and quilting.
Oh, wow.
That's so pretty.
And even more.
Look at that.
So cute.
And then we will also be learning how to quilt in a grid. And this is just one of several designs we will be learning as we learn to quilt in grids that can add to the background and just the interest in quilts. There's so much that's out there.
Beautiful. They're so beautiful.
On those, and I'll answer a lot of questions for those who come to class.
Perfect. Well, I can't wait to have you. That's amazing.
Very
Your samples
excited.
are absolutely beautiful.
I'm excited to see, I'm excited to see that horse that you brought up in person. I want to see that one in person.
It sparkles. I love that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I do want to ask our audience, we have 11 people on with us. Does anybody out there have any specific question for Karen before we say goodbye? This is now your opportunity to ask some really good questions now that you have her before she actually comes and visits AVS. So definitely ask her a question.
And it's definitely going to be a treat, to have you here in person at Authorized Vacuum. So, we're thrilled. We're thrilled for you to come. To our customers as well, now's the time, to sign up, or if you have any questions, ask them right now, or give us a call over the phone. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions. I mean, who better to answer the questions than coming from, Handiquilter themselves, the subject matter experts. So absolutely.
And
We'll
when
wait
they
a little bit to see if there's any questions.
And when they think of questions, they can write them down and bring them to class. Sometimes when you're involved in class and working, you forget your questions. So it's good to
Right.
write it down and bring it to class as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we have any questions. So, Ms. Karen, thank you so much for taking the time of day to meet with us and, share your knowledge and your wisdom and your journey of, where you started and where you're at. I know there's a lot of customers out there that are in a similar situation. They're just a little afraid to take that step because they don't know what's on the other side. But just to know that, we have such amazing educators and such an amazing team here at Authorized Vacuum. So, that we're going to be there to support you throughout your journey, that we're going to give you the educational package. We're going to give you that support. So can't wait to have you here, Miss Karen. It's very exciting for us.
Absolutely. Thank you again. We appreciate you.
Thank
For
you.
our customers out there, that are, that are either joined us in this live or they're going to see at a later date, we'd love to see your samples. Drop a picture in the comments if you think Miss Karen's samples, are amazing. I know it's not Thursday, but just drop that thumbs up. That lets us know that, they're, we love them. So, we know that you'll love them as well.
It's Thumbs Up Tuesday today.
It's Thumbs Up Tuesday. Yeah, we have a little segment every Thursday.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
I'm just excited to come. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We're excited to have you.
We are too.
Absolutely excited to have you. Okay. All right, Miss Karen. Well, you have a great day. We hope to, see you here soon. And yeah.
All right. Well, bye. I'm going to
Bye,
go
Miss
end the
Karen. Yep.
live.
Miss Victoria's going to go in the live, but it's a pleasure to have you, Miss Karen. Hope you have a great day and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. See you soon.
Bye-bye.